Hey, you guys, it's that time. 9:30 is here. What's up, James Price, Michael Deering, Jonathan, The Kind Brew? We're going to be live in about 2 minutes, guys. So those of you watching this at a later date, you can either go to rcconspiracies.com and listen to the podcast, or if you go down to the description, there will be a time code that you can click on that will take you right to the beginning of the video. We'll be back in just a minute, guys. All right, you guys in the chat, ready to get this started? Let's do it.
Welcome.
Wrong one. My son's been in here playing with this thing. Try again.
Shady silhouetted images and industry teasers are finding their way into our homes and invading our minds. Their calculated information is delivered to feed our addiction for radio-controlled frequencies. It's an RC conspiracy. But we are on your side, cracking the RC code. Because the truth is out there. Welcome to the RC Conspiracies podcast. Get your decoder rings ready. And put on those tinfoil hats, because your fearless leader is here. Please welcome your host, the lead RC conspiracist, Tony CC. Tony CC. Welcome to the RC Conspiracies podcast.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another RC Conspiracies podcast, live, a video chat here on YouTube. And we're going to be talking about Redcat today. We talked about them a couple weeks ago, I would say, maybe a little bit longer than that, maybe a month ago. And we were wondering, what's up, Redcat? Well, they know what's up, and they have been teasing us since then. So we're going to be looking at one of the teasers. They have an RT trail truck, I think, to rule them all, kind of. You know, might be one of the most killer RTRs out there. We got a bunch of people already in the chat. Welcome, you guys. Yeah, so we're going to get things kicked off with Redcat. We're going to talk a little bit about some other stuff. I've got things stashed over to my side here to talk a little bit about some other types of cars that are out there and have been out there for a little while, but kind of the game that's coming, it seems like we're seeing a lot more of. And so we're going to talk about some of the minis and micros. And for some reason, something keeps turning my TV on over there. I think I have the RC car sitting on the remote because I keep turning it off and it keeps turning on. But welcome, guys. Robert Hipp, PA car guy, RC Master is in here. He's always up late. Chase McNeil, Ray De Los Santos, Michael Deering. I'm a Top Gun. I like that one. A bunch of you guys in here. So first things first, I want to talk a little bit about, well, you guys know what we always talk about, and that is the RC Conspiracies podcast. If you guys miss an episode or you want to go back and listen to it the next day, kind of rehash some of the stuff we talked about, rcconspiracies.com is where you can go to get the podcast on Podbean, also on Google Play and iTunes and wherever else they share it to. But so we've got that going for you guys, and also we've got the merchandise, CCxRC, RC Conspiracies merchandise that you can get from Teespring, and you can find links to that in the description below if you want to get nice little swag to wear and represent CCxRC or RC Conspiracies. I actually think the RC Conspiracies shirts look pretty cool. I bought some myself, and I like them. So they turned out pretty cool. They do a good job with the prints. Robert Hip is getting ahead of us. He says the Redcat looks awesome. Orange Crush RC, welcome. So we've got those things over on rcconspiracies.com. Let's just get into it, guys. Richie was talking, Drifter Maniacs, about COP again, talking about how putting adult or not kid friendly, whatever, in your titles or in the beginning of your videos doesn't really matter to the FTC. Outsourced RC had a really good kind of little mini course for us on COPPA and what it means to the FTC, but it's really about YouTube and their policies. And so anyway, that was on the Tank RC, his RC talk that I hosted on Thursday. If you go and watch that, you'll hear some of that. And really good explanation for it. But we, this weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, for those of us here in the U.S., were teased right here by Redcat. So this popped out. I saw it over at RC Car Action. They're the ones that posted it with the top secret blurred out images here. Although you can still see the side shots and back shots here. I don't know over in the top right of the picture. We'll try and zoom in for you guys a little and show you, but top secret. But you can kind of still see here that they chopped the top off it, and maybe you couldn't see the coloring too well. I don't know, but they kind of showed us all the different details about this pretty interestingly amazing RTR that they're bringing to market. So there's some really interesting things that they've done there, and you've got portal axles with machined aluminum spools. You've got lockable slipper clutch, which is interesting that they mentioned over here on the far right side. I should actually have this on the other screen because I can actually use my mouse to point at things. So give me a second here, and we will pull it up on the other screen for you guys. For those of you listening to the podcast, just listen to the things that we're talking about. But it does have steel transmission gears. Why is this not going to where I need it to go to? There we go. Let me just take you guys over so you can see me struggle. See me struggling over here trying to get the right page up. Zoom out a little bit here. Get back down to where we were at. Think I passed it. Going live, getting everything messed up. All right, here we go. So over here on the right where my mouse is going around, you can see where it has the steel transmission gears with the lockable slipper clutch. So that's pretty cool. It does have the complete detailed interior, which is one of the things that they were kind of hiding from us in these shots a little bit, but really can still see the seat here and some of the other details right here. Complete detailed interior. You already see that in the middle, right in this main area here. And they've got, what else? They've got really cool stuff. I'm trying not to hit the biggest stuff yet. Threaded aluminum shocks, metal steering and suspension links, which is great. Steel axles in them. You've got a divorced transfer case. So that's nice. Not only do you have your transmission here, but you've got the divorced transfer case that it goes to separate. So I'm wondering where they're going to put the motor in here. Is it going to be up under the hood? I wonder if there's some shots that we're not seeing here, and maybe they're in the other one, and I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. So one of the things that I was doing was I was also finding out about the price of some of this stuff. But it does have 47 degrees of steering angle is one of the things that they talk about. Has a 6-channel programmable FlySky GT5 radio. Super Swamper tires here. Sealed bearings. LED ready. Kind of think that they should have just gone the extra mile and thrown in the $5 LEDs. That's another story. But that seems like if you're going to this length to make it fully RTR and like awesome, if you want people to put lights in it, why not just go ahead and do that for them? So I think that they could have done that for people. But what's really big about this thing, so it's got steel transmission gears plus lockable slipper clutch. We talked about that. Has the Super Swamper tires, but it has the Hobbywing Axe brushless system and the Reefs RC 422 HD 400 ounces of torque cordless digital steel internal gears servo in it. So this thing is pretty much hopped up out of the box. We'll go up. They had teased us earlier in the week, like on the 20th of November, with this picture with it already showing kind of the removed roof and the chopped top on it. It's not black. The colors are way different than the picture of the final, but they have been teasing us about it. And then they dropped this today, which is really slick looking with the colors that they've got. So it's a Gen 8 International Scout 2 Axe Edition. It's got Reefs RC, FlySky, Hobbywing, all of that branding up on their main picture here. You can see it does have beadlock wheels as well, which is really awesome for an RTR with those Super Swamper tires. I mean, no body post because they do that Velcro system. I think it's just legit, man. I don't know. What do you guys think of this thing so far? We'll get into the pricing of all this in a second. Rex Miller says the electronics are a reason to buy. RC Master says it's horrible and they don't want us to see it. Chase McNeil, so that's a 5th scale. No, it's a 1/10 scale. Based on the motor sizes and everything else. Chase McNeil, do you think people will buy this over the TRX4? That's the question, right? So this is pretty awesome out of the box versus a TRX4 running the Titan motor system brushed, which is fine. It really is. The servo that burn up, the Traxxas ones that people complain about being stock, going with the non-branded. They didn't even rebrand the stuff. They left it full-on Hobbywing Axe, full-on Reefs RC. It's not like the OEM kind of remove your logo from it, but it's a Reefs servo kind of a deal. They left them fully legit with their logos, and they're branded with them, which is an interesting thing. That's like, I think it's kind of cool the way that they're working with them. RC Master James says his booster FPV. How's it going, James? James Ferguson, I think. Robert Hipp says he'd get metal beadlocks and some Proline tires. Orange Crush RC says when he had the original Gen 8, the Velcro didn't work that well. Magnets work better. Okay. I use Velcro on a lot of my stuff, and it works pretty well. Several people are saying they put magnets on. Michael Lucre is in the house. But what I think is interesting is that they're willing to work with other names in the industry to put together like a really stellar RTR. I already think that the Gen 8 is pretty sweet out of the box. So we did a competition with them, and we took the rollers on the camping trip that I go on, and we had 2 of them, and we had 2 teams. Kind of build it how you want. Well, a lot of it is just weighting and stuff like that. And then we ran them, and it would keep up with like the Wraith 1.9s because it just handled so well. So we did some really, really fun race runs with it on the crawler course, and it got through it really quick. But I do like the grill on the front, the plastic grill that it has with the light buckets. Trash Can Ninja says might be his first crawler. So the biggest question, the biggest conspiracy for me is going to be, what's the price going to be on this? Because when I started adding up the numbers, in fact, I've got that pulled up for you guys here. So if you were to just get a Gen 8 roller like this, it doesn't have the divorce. Oh, it does have the, I think these have a transfer case, don't they? Because the motor goes up front here. I think it does have the divorce transfer case. See, I don't know that much about them. Yeah, so this does have the centrally mounted divorce transfer case, lockable slipper clutch. So it has a lot of the things that you already see in their original Gen 8. But it also has the upgraded electronics and all of that stuff in it. So we took one of these. These are pretty cheap, $170 for a roller like this. We all had tires that were pretty much the same. We had axial motors and ESCs that we just had in a parts bin. I think I had one and somebody else had one that were a match, and we put them in different trucks. And we went out, and they were awesome, really good, with just this $170 truck with parts that we threw on, like really crazy bodies that we modded out to just look crazy on it. So, so you take that $169 is what this would be. You add $200 for the ESC motor combo. So we're already at $369. Add another $70 to $100. I don't remember what I've seen these for. This is the 444, so this is the wrong one. The 422 is here. I clicked on the wrong one. It's $80. So what were we at? It was 170 plus 200, so 370. So this is 450. Throw on another 70-ish for the controller. So now you're at, I'm having a lot of trouble doing the math. So we were at 370, 420, 490. Somebody doing the math for me. I'm trying to do too many things at the same time. All right, so 169, 370, 450, 520. Put super swamper tires or swamper tires that they have on it listed, and then we're up to, you know, say, let's go light with the wheels, and let's say $80. That's $600. So that's about $600, I would say, kind of all in from that roller, adding everything to it. So what kind of deal are they going to give us on that? RC Master says, I suck at math. Yeah, so we're almost $600 in if you just add it up at face value, what you'd buy in the store. I'm sure they've got to have some price trimmings in there for us to make this enticing, so that, because some people might want to get a different servo that's, you know, maybe the 444 instead of the 422. So what would entice you? Say, well, this is a killer deal. If it with the 422, I'm willing to live with that in there. $500. Driftomaniac says none of that pricing takes into account the mechanical upgrades. Yes, there are some mechanical upgrades in here as well. But like the advanced steering, that's already in. So the shocks are going to be upgraded. So it'd be probably another $50 maybe. So you're up there. You're up there at 650 for this thing if you were to piece it together from the roller that they have. But you've got to subtract some money for like the original shocks that you're not paying for. So you're still in that 620 range. But it does have the I don't know if the steel gears come in these stock or not. So Booster FPV's thinking 600 to 650. I think they've got to be a little bit lower than that, but I'm not sure. Redcat. Oh, Ready Set RC. I forgot the body. You're right, because the oh, and it's got the interior too. So you're probably pushing over 700 to 750 for this if you were to piece it together. At least. Taking it from what you would get with the roller. So if they were to bring this in at 600, it would still be a good deal. I don't think they could be in that 700 range because that's at cost. And usually when you bundle stuff like this, there's savings in that. Motor City RC says it can't be more than a TRX6. I mean, it's got a $200 motor system in here. What does the TRX6 have? As well as a $70 servo. I think it could be in the same price range because it is that upgraded. James R says, yeah, no way it will be less than 500. If it is, they're losing money. Bob says $502. David Pig says he's going to price his right at 501. So he's going the upward side of 500. So I have this axe. I have an axe system, and I think it's a dream to drive. So I think that's pretty cool that they're coming with this. I think it's gonna be pretty killer. So some of the people, so like RC 4-wheel drive, they've got like that $700 or $800. Is it a Blazer or Bronco? I think it's a Blazer, but it's more because of the scale features of it than necessarily having like the upgraded motor systems or electronic systems that this has in it, which is, I think, definitely a unique approach. They want this thing to be like ready to take on a competition out of the box. David Pig says $1 million. Chase McNeil, will it be as good at crawling with being brushless? Yes. This is a sensored brushless motor, and it is one of the smoothest, sweetest systems that you'll try in that price range. I don't know that, actually. I'm just saying stuff. I mean, I'm sure that Castle Creation's sensored motor system at this price range is pretty decent as well. I just haven't got to try it yet because it was out of stock forever. I always go with Castle, except when there's not Castle. But now I'm liking the built-in Bluetooth. So that is one of the things they are touting about this thing, guys, is that it has, go down to the bottom of this picture here, Bluetooth, right? You know, it's going to be box art talking about the Bluetooth feature on it just because the Hobbywing has it built in, and it actually is very easy to use and very smooth. Ace 88 RC Fun and Review says sensored brushless systems are excellent for slow crawling. Yes, I agree. Orange Crush says if it's going to be around the same price as the TRX6, he'll buy the TRX6. Totally apples and oranges as far as what you do with them on a crawler course or trail. But the TRX6 is a pretty boss vehicle, I will say that. Ancient Chachi says it's like Vanquish money. It is, but this is ready to run. So I don't think it'll be quite Vanquish money as if a Vanquish was ready to run. Chase McNeil, do you think people will spend that much money for this knowing that they could just upgrade the TRX4? It depends what the cost is. I felt like this Gen 8 was as capable as the TRX4 on the trails that we were on. So I will say that. Like I said, this was rolling for us at like Axial 1.9 capabilities, which was insane. The TRX4 is a good platform, but I think what Redcat's got going here is not a bad thing either. And having this motor system in it and the slow power that it'll give you over a TRX4 out of the box is crazy. So if you were to take your TRX4 and upgrade it to this, you'd be looking at the same kind of cost, but a little bit more because it starts at a higher price point. Ace 88 RC Fun and Review says the Gen 8 has been great. I own one. The first thing I did was swap out the ESC for a 60 amp. Yes, that would be great. Orange Crush RC says he must have got a lemon for his Gen 8 because it was not that good. I haven't used a Gen 7. All we did was the Gen 8, and I was, like I said, I was beyond impressed. I'd just been out there rolling with my RGT Pro carbon fiber system that has an axe in it and was really an awesome rider. I mean, I loved driving that thing. Probably my best crawler. And I have a TRX4. I had an SCX10 too. I have SCX10s, dual motor SCX10s, Axial Wraith 1.9s, which are unbelievable out of the box. And this Gen 8 really wowed me that weekend. After driving all of those other vehicles, when we put these out, I was really blown away by it because we'd just kind of thrown it together. $170 kit, stock 27 turn axial motors, the AE5, I think it was AE5 ESCs, and some of the what are they called? The Trail Grappler, I think was what we used, the Nitto tires. I think they had 8 of those that we used, and it was excellent. Chase McNeil, what channel's remote? Would it be good FPV? I don't know. It's 2.4 gigahertz. I know that. 6-channel programmable, being that you can just set up winches and all that kind of stuff with it. Motor City RC TRX 6 is unstoppable. Yes, as long as the course is built without really, really tight corners for it. T-Nerd says, I like this community. No arguments or hate. Hey, that's what I try to be on this channel. I am all in with all RCs. There isn't one that I really dislike or completely hate. I can see aspects that are good in most of them. Most of the things that I would not like about an RC company wouldn't even have to do with their actual vehicles themselves, but maybe the corporate nature of them. But overall, I mean, I like even some of the Spin Master stuff. I have a lot of fun with. Not the motorcycle a whole lot. That I take that back. I did when I got inside with it, but outside I couldn't find any place that I really liked it. But inside, I really liked it on the carpet. In fact, I had it out again. In fact, it's right over there because I did have it out running the other day. But I'm willing to give anything a chance and see it for what it's worth. The little military ones that you get from Banggood or wherever, even those I see some of the good and the value in, especially because my boys like throwing their Army figures in them and running them around. So don't hate on brands here. try and be optimistic about all of them, see the good, and know that everybody likes something a little bit different. So where some people might not have had a good experience with the Gen 8 and love the TRX4, I have the TRX4 and I love it. I got rid of a lot of other crawlers when I got the TRX4, and I got my RGT, and now that's my favorite. But my kids' 1.9 Wraiths are just, I haven't done anything to them, and they're unstoppable. It's really sad. Chase McNeil has Armat made any crawlers? No, and they will not, according to social media posts from them. So, RC Basher Boys in here. Welcome. Sean's RC Adventure TRX has all the same electronics for TX4. How is that possible with all that extra weight? Because it's overpowered for the TRX4. And you have extra wheels pulling. It's six-wheel drive. Eric Page says Gen 8 sold for $299. Heard the new one will be around $499. If they bring this in at $499, wow. Okay, so that brings up the question then. How much is a TRX 4? Give me pricing. Not Amazon. Yeah, let's go to Hobbytown. Let's just say TRX 4, and we'll let you guys know. So you could get the scale kit, assembly kit for $279.95. Have to add electronics to it. You can get the TRX 4 1/10 scale trail rock crawler assembly kit, and that's $369. But if you were to get like the K5 Blazer, it's $489. Brushed Traxxas servo. It does have multiple servos because it does do the locking diffs, which I think is super cool. I know some people don't want that in there. It's like Harley and them don't like that extra feature. They don't need it. They just set their trucks up to be boss without needing to lock it. So yeah, these are almost $500. I have this one, which is $459, the Land Rover. So, I mean, if they could bring this in at $499, it would kind of shake things up a little bit. I think it would be hard to price it at $499, honestly. RC Fest Studio Production says, I've heard $499 from Redcat themselves as well. Wow. Wow, that deserves a... That's crazy. Pastor Bush says Horizon Hobby own Arma, Redcat, and many other brands. No, that's false information. Redcat is not owned by Horizon Hobby. Trash Can Ninja TRX4 kit, not RTR. Yeah, but this is an RTR. If we're talking with brushless systems, you can't compare it to a kit price. Because a kit price is $279. You're starting with the Gen 8 kit at $169, but that's without tires and stuff. So it's misleading. But a lot of guys already have a lot of tires and stuff, and that would buy that kit. But then you still need a body. But this is not a bad price for their kit. At $279.95. But if they can come in at $500 with all of the upgrades that are in that, I will buy one. I'm just saying that. I mean, that would be insane. So that, yeah, I don't even know what to say about that. That's just mind blowing to think about. RC Master, in my opinion, the Defender Sport Tactical are the best looking bodies for the TRX4. I like the Bronco. in the Blazer. I know most people would be like, you can't like both the Ford and the Chevy, but I do. I like the years of those that they're styled after, the 79s. I like the paint jobs on them both. Boom. So Basher Boy says, yes, Redcat is listed on their website at Horizon Hobby. What do you mean listed on their website? Listed as one of their brands or just something that they sell? Because their brands are Revolution, Vetera, Zenoa, Dramada, Team Losi, Top Flight, Spectrum, Proboat, Real Flight, Sido, Park Zone, OS Engine, Team Orion, Connexus, Losi, Onyx, Hobby Zone, Hangar 9, Fly Zone, ECX, E-Flight, Evolution, Dynamite, Duratrax, DLE, Blade, Axial, and Arma. If you go down to the bottom of their page at Horizon, it has a brands page, but Horizon.com, HorizonHobby.com, they sell Team Associated, they sell Redcat, they sell a lot of things, but they don't own them. So Adam Munns from RC Fest Studio Productions says, keep your eyes peeled. Rex Miller says, he's in with me, guys. He's in with me. All right. He says he will buy one. Jeremy Smith says he'll buy one as well. If it sells for $4.99, Robert Hipp is going to get one. There we go. Everybody gets a party horn that says they're in. So RC Master, Horizon Monopoly. Now they're pretty diversified, I would say, from bashers to planes. Some of them are just straight up motors, like for fifth scale, planes. You know, they've got some of the low quality stuff, not low quality, but the lower price stuff in the ECX and the Dramada. Vetera's like on road. So they just kind of brand it differently. So ABW7723, like to see a kit, a raw kit, no ESC motor radio if I buy. Well, they've got that, man. We just looked at it. It's $169. What we're really impressed by is that they're putting the best stuff in a ready to run. Usually the ready to run you buy so that it drives well off the shelf, and you plan to upgrade stuff along the way because it's not what you would, want in it necessarily long term, but it gets you into it and it gets you into the hobby, whatever. There's people that like me that buy it for that reason. Then I know I'm going to upgrade stuff. But having something like this where I can just pay for the stuff already upgraded, there's a lot of savings in that because I'm not paying $400 or $350 for a rig that has parts that I'm going to just scrap and pay $200 for a motor system and $100 for an ESC. So now we're at $650. If I want to change a body, now we're at $720. New radio system, even just a nice receiver can be $70 for these things, 6 channel. But yeah, but it's, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm confused. I started reading the chat again. So, T-Nerd Traxxas is one of the best RC manufacturer. Changed my mind. Not worth my time, man. Your mind is made up. And they make great vehicles, so it's not worth arguing with you about anyway. RC Basher Boy, oh wow, thought they were owned by Horizon Hobby. Guess you learn something new every day. Right on, right on. I learn something new all the time, man. Okay, not Monopoly, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. That's awesome. Horizon got to catch them all. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I've been drooling over the iX20 Spectrum. Man, I want that just to drive my semi-trucks with. Totally overkill, but man, would that be boss. RC Fest says, I voiced for a slider with no radio system, good electronics and servo included as well. Price around $350. Thoughts? Lessens the market for them because a lot of people, there's big market in full RTR. It's kind of like the bind and drive doesn't sell that well. It's another SKU that hobby shops have to carry that they won't pick up. It's a tough sell to the hobby shop owner that has a new person in that says, I got a lot of money to spend and I want the best of what you got out there. Boom. Here, this Redcat, it's got all the best parts in it. $500. First time into the hobby, they want the best. Here it is. You've got it all. 6-channel receiver in it. Decent radio. I mean, I know a lot of people that run the Fly Sky stuff in racing, everything. So they just like the cost of the receivers because that's where Spectrum and them will get you. And I think their price of Spectrum actually has come down on receivers. So that's been cool because that's what I run. So it's definitely cool for me. But yeah, the Fly Sky GT5 is a favorite by a lot of people. RC player, you don't need better servo, but yeah, I did. Robert Hips, steel at 500. Yeah. Again, if it comes in at that thing, it is going to blow up the market here. And hopefully it will just push the competition to say, and one of the things I like though is that they're not saying, hey, we need this to be our motor or whatever. They're just like, boom, hobby, you guys got a killer axe system. We want to put that in our vehicle. What do we got to do to partner with you guys to put this in and make a really cool killer RTR? That's part of what I think is really cool about what they're doing here. So you guys are looking at all the brands here. I don't know why we're still stuck there. Okay, so I was going to tell you guys about some other stuff. I think this has been fun talk. I think if they do come out with this, and if it's at $500, I can't even get my brain around that. Kind of makes me mad about paying $200 for just the ESC and motor, though. Still a good deal of $550 or $600. I agree. It's not as much as like go run out and get it though, if you've already got a bunch of stuff. But you can see the value in it at $500. But I don't know if they can come in at that. All right, so earlier this year, guys, very earlier, February, I picked up this thing, Reflex 14B, 14th scale. We've balded out the tires in the front for sure. I've got new ones in a bag sitting over there, ready to go on, but not worth taking off yet. Still have traction. So, really fun little runner, under $200, and yeah, you can run it pretty much anywhere. Easy to carry with you, travel with it. Really liked it. Okay, so step forward to this year. Released Mini T 2.0. And this thing is going to be awesome. Going to be a little bit smaller than that. But another little micro for running indoors. And I think that a lot of people are going to pick those up because I think that smaller hobby shops can put in a track for those and bring on some racing, and it'll be awesome for them. Where they can't afford to keep like a big warehouse to do an indoor racetrack, they could divvy up part of a store to do a track like that. This is not open yet because I'm going to be doing an unboxing of it, and I got the shocks to go with it, so I can show you guys in it, though. And that doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to give a little bit of an unboxing. I can rebox that. Came out pretty easily. So scale-wise, this is going to be smaller. Quite a bit smaller. This microphone's going to be in my way. And then this guy. The camera's messing me up. Everything's backwards. So yeah. Going to be an awesome little guy. I got the blue one. Really sharp looking. Love the yellow wheels, race wheels. Step forward to Black Friday. Another Mini 8, bigger than both of those, just barely bigger than the 14 scale buggy, because this is also 14 scale, but truggy, which is almost the size of a 1/10 buggy. So wrap your brain around that. Really cool. So the little stuff I think is making a cool resurgence. And one of the things I'm hoping for, and probably Adam Munz is hoping for, is I want to see the Raminator come back, the little low-C that they used to have, because they're way too expensive. And I'm trying to win one on eBay right now, and I just can't do it. I'm not willing to spend that much for one. Not eBay prices for those things. The collectors are eating them up. I do also have the W Toys buggies as well, mentioning that. I also have, pardon me for 1 second. That was almost disastrous. I forgot to take the headphones off. So I do have the old Mini Tees as well, the desert trucks. So you can see this one has the yellow wheels as well. Can't really see yellow where you guys are. A little too bright. But I've got the older ones as well. So it'll be fun to do a side-by-side with these. I love that it comes with a LiPo battery this time. Should give us a little bit more speed out of the gun there. Fractions, that's more math, Tony. Yeah, man, we've done too much math tonight. But this is a math-filled hobby. Rex Miller was looking at the Mini T the other day. Yeah, so what's impressive is the suspension and everything out of the box. It just feels so good. It's so smooth. They're just really, really impressive little vehicles. But on top of those, we've gone micro. So all of these little cars are making such a resurgence. And so these are 1/24 scale crawlers by Axial, the CCx24. So why do you guys think that we're seeing so many small vehicles again and so many big vehicles at the same time? This one's my favorite. Not performer, but it's my favorite looker. This is the Charisma MSA. And somebody was asking earlier if it was what the body would look like on the CCx24. It's a little bit hard to give you that answer because the bodies on these are hinged. But I can try to see. I don't know. It looks like the wheelbase lines up pretty good. If I could get this body off of here all the way, I think it lines up pretty awesome on here. I'm not going to lie. Might be just a little bit short for the body. But it's close enough. If you want to buy this body, it's like $10, $9. Slap it on one of these guys because these things perform so well. Oh, game on. I do like that this just Velcros on though. So they've got these pieces that go on the body post and it just Velcros. And I'm doing it backwards. So that would be a cool little upgrade to the CCx24, is putting the MSA body on there. Charisma. But what do you guys think that we're seeing so many of the little cars again? So Justin saying, do you think an updated Mini 8 because they priced them down for Black Friday? You know, it would be interesting. It is running an old Dynamite motor in it. I wonder if they'll be getting some smaller Spectrum stuff that might wind up in these low Cs. I don't know. The Mini 8T platform, or the Mini 8 in general, seems to do pretty well, so I think it's going to stick around, but it's interesting. Orange Crush says, I actually got the 124 scale Barrage and converted it to LiPo, put an RC 4-wheel drive motor in it, and 124th Proline body, Jeep body. Love it. Oh, that's awesome, man. Jeremy Smith, RC Basher Boy. I have the LST XXL2E that I race, and I love it, but the Mini LST is still an awesome thing. What's Basher Boy asking? RC Fest Studio Productions, will you pick up the Gen8 AX? Who are you asking? Are you asking me? RC Basher Boy, I don't need a Mini LST. I own the LST 2 XXL and never go back. It's a beast. Yeah, but when you want to play in small spaces. All right, so pricing on these. The Mini T 2.0 is $130, I believe. The little axial 124 scales are, this one is $110 for some reason with the cool driver and the cage. Probably because it doesn't have Jeep licensing, because the Jeep one is $130. No, $120. Sorry, this is $110. The Jeep is $120, and I ended up paying, I think, $130 for this one, which is actually the heaviest of them. There's things that I do like about it. I like the axles on it. It's just noisy. It runs just as fast as the others. It seems just as capable to me. I need to do some testing, but it's really noisy. I don't know what it is in the gearing. If something's wrong, it sounds like something's bad in it, and that's what I don't like about it. But maybe it's just fine, and it's just noisy. That's all. There's always a chance. If you want cool bodies for SCX24, check out Straightline 124 Slot Car Bodies. They are Lexay and they are like $7. Oh, nice. That is a good tip. Chase McNeil, smaller RCs are more compact and cheaper both to buy and upgrade. However, you can only go so fast with small RCs before they're uncontrollable. Then parts break easier. I agree with they're harder to control. I don't agree with parts break easier. And I'll tell you why. Because they are smaller, they're lighter. That Reflex 14B, man, that thing cartwheels on cement off of jumps and doesn't break. Haven't broken anything on it. I've popped off a ball, like one of the ball cups, but they just snap them back on. It's a little bit tricky, some of them, but you get a needle nose pliers in there and snap them back on. You're good to go. So I actually don't think that this one is more fragile than the bigger cars because everything's smaller. But that's my take on it. You can have your own opinion. I'm not gonna say it's wrong. I'm just gonna say that is my opinion. I've had really, really good luck with that, and the 10 scale buggy has been hard to break. However, I have been seeing people break the Mini T 2.0. So these are pretty small and thin, and they're going pretty quick. And the hinge pin area is pretty small on these, and there's a seam that runs down, interestingly, the whole piece. So it's like, it almost looks like there's two pieces of plastic molded together like this, and that have holes in them, and they kind of just fuse. And that's where you're seeing people pop the pin right where that line is running down them. I can't show you, it's going to blow out on the camera, but you can see visible mold lines on it, and it's popping out there. But I would think you probably are clipping something still pretty good or landing weird. I would guess RPM has something coming out, but they are still pretty small arms regardless. And it's a small area they did for the pins. RC Basher Boy, I will race you with my Reflex Truggy. All right, bring it over here, man. Axial SCX-10.3 is happening. Heard it here in Tony's RC Conspiracies. Oh, yeah, you know what's happening. I can't tell you when, but it's happening. Someday, sometime, some hour. RC Trail Ride, good night, man. Capra axles under the SCX-10 would be sweet. They'd have to be a little wider. I'm curious if Axial is going to come out with a little bit bigger portal axle or not. Now, I still haven't built my Capra, but Axial did take a little turn in their RTR game that I thought was interesting because some people were kind of upset about it. The people that build the kits like that they get better parts in their kits than the RTR people get. I don't really care as long as people are paying for it. But you get it pre-built and you get motors, electronics, all that, and you get it for, a pretty good price actually for the Capra. I probably would buy it RTR at this point just to, save having to build it because of the cost. But a lot of people like to see how they go together, like to put them together themselves, choose the motors, everything that they want in there. But it's interesting that they've chosen to keep all the upgraded parts in their RTR. So that's something new for them, and that's a plus. So we see it with Redcat saying, hey, let's make RTR awesome. Capra, Axial, they've said, hey, let's make our RTR have the awesome parts as well. So that's cool. It doesn't have the brushless motors and all that, but it has all the upgrade parts that they put into the Capra kit, which is interesting. Robert Hip, does the worm gear on the little Axial have any problems compared to the crawlers that don't use them? Actually, I think that the worm gear system on this is awesome because it acts like a drag brake. So, I mean, it's very smooth feeling. It's got that low end crawl feel to it. So, it makes these run in a way that I wasn't happy with the ECX before. Because at low speed, these things feel good. Where the ECX, I didn't really feel like that. There was any power low. RC Basher Boy, Tony loves RTRs. Who's kidding? Yeah, man, ready to run Tony. Jeremy Smith says, I'll take your kit. Yeah, I know you would, man. I'm going to get to building it. I've got all this Send stuff I'm working on next. But I'm really excited about the small stuff right now. Like these ones, me and my kids run around the house with them. We basically chase each other with them, and you're trying to catch the other guy, and you can take any kind of corners that you want, and you're trying to. They all run about the same speed, so you got to make up time somewhere, and you don't know where they're going, so you got to cut corners and try and figure out where they're going. Ton of fun. We're not actually doing a whole lot of crawling with them when it's me and the boys. It's pretty flat ground and chasing each other. Still a ton of fun. RC Master says, I hear if you put egg boxes inside the body, they will run silent. Interesting. Yeah, so I do have, Robert Hibbs says he likes the new Jeep version. He's talking about this one here. So this is the other SCX-24 that we run around. So we have 3 of them for me and the 2 boys. I run the Ford Bronco or Ford F-150, and they run these. Actually, that's not true. I end up running this one because my youngest son wants the F-150. He knows a good truck when he sees one. I'll give him that. So I didn't get to prepare everything I meant to for this, guys. I literally just coming from the hospital. My mom had some weird stuff happen from a routine procedure this morning that went long and put her in a lot of pain. And came home. We got calls from the doctor, said come in for CAT scans if we still had pain, all that. So she's been actually admitted now until they see some healing in the internal organs that they saw lesion on and all that. So anyway, it's been a crazy day for me. I literally just got home before this started at the hospital. I quickly threw together the little graphic for this. So I'm a little bit under researched for this. I'll just go ahead and be honest. I knew I wanted to talk about the Redcat coming in because I'd been seeing it all weekend. But other than that, I just had a few things like these I did want to talk about again. I did the video on them. I do have some other videos coming as well. I actually got a good fix on my Creighton 8S. I went down to Buddy Cheek's place. I traded him my infraction. I know I'm going to get some hate in the comments. But I got a CPI tuned pipe for my 5T, as well as some cash in the trade, and he installed it, and all this got me tuned up for the infraction. I didn't drive it as much. I have way too many RCs to really drive all the ones that I really actually want to get out and drive. I would love to get out and drive that one more and do more with it. I just don't have the time. And so he had ideas for it, and so I said, cool, let's do it. You know, I want my ones that I'm actually racing to do better, and so I want to invest more money into RCs I have instead of necessarily more RCs, even though I just showed you guys 4 new RCs pretty much just a second ago with the minis. But you know, some of them I'm selling, getting rid of all that, and putting money back into some of the cars that I do race on a regular basis or run on a regular basis, and clodbusters and stuff like that. If you guys see, we have been doing some cool racing with our clodbusters, my sons and I. I've got some footage of it on my phone. I'll probably put together another video. I'm kind of mixing up the videos on my CCxRC channel. I'm just going to be throwing up some of them that are just having fun with RCs. Don't really need talking, whatever. They're just kind of run footage, like my boys and I racing these. I might throw a little intro on, kind of setting up what's happening. But when we're doing it, I'm not making it like all the commentary that I would if it was just me out there, because I don't want to subject my kids to being like YouTube kids, you know. We're just having fun. I'll break out the phone to show them, and we're using it, you know, as a learning thing as well. And so I don't want it to feel completely like a YouTube thing for them. And so I'll probably just post some of that up there. I'm not going to do all of it because, again, I don't want them to be YouTube kids. And so I'll keep a lot of it to myself, and then some of it we'll put it up there. So RC Mask Master says, you just don't like on-road cars. Oh, that's funny. What was the 118th low C mini rock crawler? What was that called? The night crawler. Thanks, Earl Moorhead, Chase McNeil, RC Basher Boy. Yeah, they think it's going to be fine. I mean, there's always, of course, the chance that things don't go as planned, like this morning. But they think that what they're seeing doesn't look too bad, and so it should recover pretty easily. They just need her to stay in for... We heard a day, but the doctor said in a couple of days he'd be back to check on her, so I don't know what that means. So, well, I guess I'll find out more tomorrow. But, yeah, so Rex Miller about the SMT 10, what's up with that? We talked about that last week, and he said that they're going to have something for us this year, so that means this month, guys. So I'm excited for it. I will probably, if they're updated because of the channel and because I do a lot of monster trucks on here, I will probably buy one of them to do a video on and show what the upgrades are for you guys to know. You guys have been waiting a long time for it, so the least I can do is get it on here and show you guys. So we will be doing SMT10 stuff, whatever it is that they've got coming. Speaking of monster trucks, speaking of not getting stuff again and putting into racers, hitting my head with the microphone. I found a son of a digger, Traxxas Stampede, and I've been looking for him for years. Ever since I got my first grave digger, I wanted to get a son of a digger. And at that time, I wasn't really buying RCs like I do now. It was just the one for fun. Then I did the RC track, and it couldn't jump, so I got the low C. But I wanted to go back and get the son of a digger. Well, they were out at our local hobby shop, and believe it or not, I still didn't buy a whole lot of stuff online back then. And so maybe because it's harder to hide from the wife when it showed up on the credit card that way versus getting it in the store. I don't know. I'm kidding. But so they didn't have one. I kept waiting for them to come back, and then I found out they were actually discontinued. And, you know, then the prices went through the roof. Everybody bought all the bodies and everything, and I've been looking since then to get one, but not willing to pay the crazy $700 price tag people are putting on one. So there will be one coming, a Traxxas Stampede Son of a Digger, as well as I bought some of the new blue skid plates and bumpers and stuff on there to slap on it. So it looked like it was pretty worn. Anyway, there. That was one of the things I had to get off my chest. Brian Samuel, you going to go to, as asking, Tony, you going to the Toys for Tots Monster Truck race this weekend? Yes. If I don't go to the J Concepts race this weekend up north of DC in Maryland. So, Earl Moorhead X-Max Monster Truck is all you need. I like the scale stuff more than I like the big stuff. I like the big stuff a lot, but my Cloudbusters are my favorite. I'll just say that. And then, you know, my solid axles, and then like and then probably the X-Max, but then the Stampedes and stuff. But I do love the scale bodies. If they would do something with the X-Max to have cooler bodies for it, like monster truck branded stuff, I would really be in on that. Get a Bigfoot body on there, even if it's a race truck. What? RC Basher Boy says his hobby shop has a used Son of a Digger for $150. It's there still. Dang it. TSO Day, hey Tony, did you get my channel stickers I sent you? I don't think I did. The last stickers I got, I think were Adventure Time RC. I will have to check my P.O. box. I haven't been there this week. Booster FPV says, bro, come on up to Maryland. Brian says he's going to make it to the No Limit Toys for Tots. I'm going to be at one or the other. Earl says, true, I like to see new bodies on the X-Max and Max. I think that would sell it for me. Even though it's independent, I didn't care with the Stampede. It was just so much fun. Jeremy Smith says, come find me, Brian. I'll let you try my trucks. Jeremy, are you going to come over here? Are we going to work on that? TSO Day says he sent them about a month ago. I don't remember getting them, man. Where did you send them to? The P.O. box or a home address? Well, shucks. I just lost my chat window. I tried to go to his channel. See what the logo would have been. RC Basher Boy says there was a Gravedigger and Son of a Digger. Gravedigger was sold within a few hours. Wow. You have to let me know what the condition of the body is. That's what I'm really curious about. Chase McNeil, what if they had a Son of a Digger body for the X-Max? That would be awesome. It's not going to happen with Axial Horizon Hobby having the Feld stuff right now, I don't think. But it could be a cool Bigfoot one, or they could get some other trucks. TSO Day says the address in the About section. So I'm going to go there right now and see which one that is. Yeah, it's my P.O. box. Huh, I didn't see it. I will look for it. I'll be bummed if I didn't get it. I love having stickers. I'm putting them all over my table where I work on stuff. That's my sticker board, is my actual table that I do wrenching on along the edge of it. That way I see everybody's stickers and everything every time I'm working. So, all right. Well, guys, I'm not sure what I'm going to do about racing, Brian. You'll have to follow on Facebook or Instagram. I'll probably post something letting people know where I'm going and what's going on. And I think I'm going to be at the No Limit Toy for Tots thing. I think that's the definite place I'm going to be. This week's going to be pretty hectic. And then with my mom being in the hospital right now, I think that's where I'll end up, just because I won't have time to wrench on trucks. And I think their rules are a little different for that. And I'd have to switch some stuff over, and I'm not ready to do that at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and probably not go to the Maryland one. But I will have plenty of other content for you guys, and we'll get that for you guys up on here. I did the oval track with the Creighton 8S, and I wanted to post it. I actually just saw that Innovation RC did it with his as well. His did way better. I found out afterward that my steering was hitting. There's a little from the servo in the whole system, the mechanism. There's a screw that goes to the turnbuckle, I guess, or whatever. I don't know what the arm and all that are called, but that mounting screw has a big, I don't know, it's almost like a nut on the end of it, but it's not a nut. And it was pulled out off of the screw about half an inch, and it was hitting the bulkhead when I was trying to turn, and I couldn't turn left at all, which is dumb on a oval track. All you do is turn left. And so I wasn't getting great. I wasn't getting very good steering, but I did all right with it. But it wasn't breaking free like it should have. And so I need to get it back out there and do some more footage, because it's pretty awesome feeling out there. And I felt good with it. I didn't know. I just thought, man, this thing doesn't steer that. This, steers like a monster truck, but it would steer a whole lot better if I'd had, when I saw how limited the steering was, I'm like, well, this ain't right. But I thought it was servo was busted from the tree hit, and I thought I must have chewed up some gears. But it's fixable, and it's actually fixed now. And I've got a new pin through it. That's not the helicopter one. And I got that from Buddy Cheeks. He had a really awesome threaded piece that fit all the way through and it actually went into the chassis area, and we were able to put a nut on the end of it. And that thing is buttoned up nice and tight. So you'll be seeing a lot more videos with that as well coming up. But the channel's going to be, we're going to be cranking stuff out, guys, and trying to keep up with ourselves. So anyway, back to the comments here before we leave. RC Sailors did a tug of war between the Creighton 8S and 8S X-Max. Creighton won. I think, didn't both of them win a few times based on whoever was driving? Anyway, see you later, Bold Gear RC. And actually, see you later, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, Jeremy. Get with me, man. We'll figure out if there's time to fix up the Try Me truck. And thanks, TSO Day. If you get a couple more stickers out, that would be awesome. And I can get you some in return as well. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you have a great week. Hope you have fun RCing. And hope to catch you next time on RC Conspiracies.